You may not be failing at English because you lack time. You may be struggling because all your practice happens at the wrong moment, in the wrong way, with no clear purpose. You study for 2 hours on Sunday, then do nothing for 4 days. You learn 20 new words but never use them in a conversation. You watch English videos but your own voice stays silent. Then you blame your memory. You question your ability. You tell yourself English is simply too hard for you. But what if the problem isn't your ability? What if the problem is how you organize your practice? Today I want to give you a simple daily routine that takes just 1 hour, but not one continuous hour. You split it into 3 short sessions, 15 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the middle of the day, and 15 minutes in the evening. I call it the 15-30-15 method. Each session has a different job. The morning wakes up your English. The midday session turns knowledge into speech. The evening helps you notice, repair, and keep what you practiced. And that final 15 minutes, although it may look like the smallest step, is where many learners quietly lose the progress they worked so hard to build. We'll come back to that soon. First, let's understand why English can remain difficult even after years of study. Many learners are surrounded by English but rarely produce it. They read, watch, underline, collect grammar rules, and save vocabulary videos. These habits can be useful, but knowing English isn't the same as being able to use it under pressure. You can recognize the word opportunity when you read it, yet struggle to use it while speaking. You can understand a grammar explanation, yet freeze when someone asks, "What did you do yesterday?" You know the answer, but your mind begins searching, translating, checking, and correcting before your mouth says anything. This doesn't mean you're unintelligent. It means your English has spent too much time inside your eyes and not enough time inside your voice. Speaking requires retrieval. You must bring words forward without seeing them on a page. Listening requires flexibility. Real people don't always speak slowly or pronounce every word separately. Confidence requires experience, and you can't build it only by imagining future conversations. The 15-30-15 method gives each of these abilities a place in your day. Your morning session begins before English feels urgent. You're not preparing for an exam. You're simply telling your mind, English will be part of my life today. Choose one short piece of audio, a conversation, a short lesson, or part of a podcast. Don't choose something so difficult that every sentence feels like a puzzle. You should understand the general meaning even if a few expressions are new. Listen once without stopping, and ask yourself only what this person is talking about, what feeling you can hear, and which words sound important. Then listen again and choose 3 useful sentences. Don't just read them. Listen to their movement and notice which words carry more energy. Say each one once slowly, then again with a natural rhythm. Then look away and say it from memory. You're not trying to steal someone else's accent, you're training your ears and mouth to work together. Clear speech matters more than performing a perfect accent. Next, spend a few minutes practicing one pronunciation detail. Perhaps you often confuse ship and sheep. Perhaps the final sound disappears when you say words like worked, helped, or asked. Don't try to repair your entire pronunciation in one morning. Choose one small target and put it inside complete sentences, because pronunciation becomes useful only when it supports real communication. Then read 4 or 5 practical sentences aloud, such as, I need a little more time. Could you say that again? I understand the main idea. I'm not sure, but I'll try to explain. And I have a question about this. These are valuable because you can use them in many situations. You're learning language in context, not collecting isolated words that disappear when you need them. Before the morning session ends, choose one speaking goal for the day, small enough to complete, such as, today I will describe my lunch in English, or today I will use the phrase I'm not sure but in 3 original sentences. One clear goal gives your midday session direction. Without it, 30 minutes can disappear while you search for the perfect lesson. Now we arrive at the most active part of the routine, 30 minutes in the middle of your day. This is where you stop consuming English and begin creating it. Mentally divide these 30 minutes into 3 movements. First, speak, then listen to yourself, and finally speak again with 1 improvement. For the first 10 minutes, select a familiar topic. Don't begin with an academic debate. If you can't yet describe your morning naturally, speak about your routine, your work, your neighborhood, a meal you enjoy, a problem you recently solved, or a plan for the weekend. Try answering aloud. How has your day been so far? Without preparing every word, beginning with whatever English is available. You might say something like, "My day has been quite busy. I woke up later than usual, so I had to get ready quickly. I've already finished 2 important tasks, and now I'm taking a short break." Or something simpler like, "My day is going well. I worked in the morning. I finished 1 task. Now I'm practicing English." Both answers are useful. The purpose isn't to impress anyone. It's to connect a real thought with an English sentence. If you don't know a word, don't end the practice. Describe the idea another way. Perhaps you forget the word umbrella. You can say, "It's the thing we carry when it rains." That's not failure, that's communication. The ability to explain around a missing word is one of the most practical speaking skills you can build. After several minutes, change the task. Look around and describe what you see, then move from description to opinion. For example, "I like working in a quiet room because I can concentrate. However, complete silence sometimes makes me tired, so I play soft music." Description teaches you to name what's present. Opinion teaches you to connect ideas and express yourself. During the next 10 minutes, record your voice. Many learners dislike this exercise because their recorded voice sounds unfamiliar. They hear pauses, pronunciation problems, and unfinished sentences, and immediately feel embarrassed. Please don't use the recording as a weapon against yourself. Use it as a mirror. A mirror doesn't insult you. It only shows you what's there. Record a 60 to 90-second answer to one question, such as, "What is one habit you want to improve and why?" When you finish, listen once, and don't count every mistake. Notice only whether your message was understandable, where you paused for too long, and which one sentence you'd like to say more clearly. Correct that one thing, then record the answer again. The second recording doesn't need to be perfect. It only needs 1 clear improvement. This teaches you that a mistake isn't a final judgment. It's information you can use. For the last 10 minutes, connect listening with speaking. Return to the short audio from your morning session. Listen to a small portion, pause it, and explain the message in your own words. Rebuilding the meaning with language you can control, not memorizing the original wording. Then imagine you're part of the conversation and give your own response. This exercise develops listening, memory, vocabulary, sentence building, and personal expression all at the same time. But this is where many learners make a mistake. They choose material that's far above their current level because difficult English feels more serious. They understand almost nothing, become exhausted, and call that exhaustion progress. Challenge is useful. Confusion is not a learning plan. Choose material that allows you to understand the main message, where a few new expressions stretch you, rather than 20 unknown expressions in 1 minute overwhelming you. You can gradually increase the difficulty as your listening becomes stronger. Now, let's work on thinking in English. This doesn't mean forcing your mind to produce long, perfect paragraphs all day. It begins with small observations like, "I need to answer this message. The weather looks different today." Or, "I forgot to bring my charger." During your midday session, look at an object and produce 1 thought about it, then add a reason, a detail, or a plan. For example, "This cup is empty. I should get some water. I'll do that after I finish this recording." 1 thought becomes 3 connected sentences. If a sentence feels too complicated, reduce it. Clear, simple English spoken now is more valuable than an elegant sentence that never leaves your mind. Grammar still matters. It helps people understand time, relationships, and meaning. But grammar should support your communication rather than stop it before it begins. Speak first, notice an important error, correct it, then speak again. That's a healthier cycle than waiting until you believe no error is possible. Now we reach the final 15 minutes of the method. By evening you may feel tired and think, I already practiced today. Why should I return to the same language? Because practice creates experience, but reflection turns experience into direction. Your evening session should be calm. It's not an exam, and you don't need to review everything. Begin without your notes and try to remember the 3 useful sentences from the morning. If you remember only 2 that's useful information, look at the missing sentence, read it once, and say it again. Then recall the topic you discussed during your midday session, and try to summarize your answer in 3 sentences today. For example, I want to sleep earlier. My phone often keeps me awake. Tonight, I will put it away before I go to bed. Next, choose 1 or 2 mistakes worth correcting, not 10, not every small hesitation. Select errors that affect meaning or appear repeatedly. Write the original sentence. Then write the improved version. For example, I won't improve my routine becomes, I want to improve my routine. Say the correct version 3 times inside different examples, such as, I want to improve my routine. I want to improve my pronunciation. And I want to improve the way I manage my time. You're not only correcting 1 sentence, you're learning a pattern you can reuse. After that, record a short reflection on your day. What did I do today? How did I feel? What do I want to do tomorrow? You might say, today was busy, but I completed my English practice. I felt uncomfortable when I heard my recording, but the second attempt was clearer. Tomorrow I want to speak with fewer long pauses. This reflection is powerful because it makes English personal. You're not repeating sentences about imaginary people. You're using English to understand your own life. Finish by choosing tomorrow's goal. Perhaps tomorrow you'll practice ordering food, focus on final consonants, or retell a different audio clip. This is why the evening session affects the entire routine. It closes today's practice and prepares the first decision for tomorrow, so you don't wake up wondering what to study. You already know your next small step. Let me show you what 1 complete day could look like. In the morning, Maya selects a 90-second conversation about making weekend plans. She listens once and understands that 2 friends want to visit a market on Saturday. She listens again and chooses 3 sentences. Are you free on Saturday morning? I haven't decided yet. And that sounds like a good idea. She repeats each sentence slowly, then shadows the speaker's rhythm, practices the contraction in haven't, and notices that sounds like flows as one group. Her goal is simple. Use all 3 expressions while answering questions later that day. At lunchtime, Maya asks herself, what would I like to do this weekend? And records this answer. I haven't decided yet. I may visit my cousin on Saturday. If she's free, we can go to a local market. That sounds like a good idea. Because I need to buy a birthday gift. She listens to the recording. Her message is understandable, but she pauses too long before local market and notices that Saturday is unclear. She practices the word several times, listens to the original pronunciation, and records the answer again, keeping the same ideas but speaking more smoothly. Next, she retells the original conversation, then changes the situation, imagining, inviting a friend for coffee, using the same expressions in a new context. By changing the context, she proves that she understands the expressions rather than just repeating sounds without meaning. In the evening, Maya closes her notes and tries to remember the 3 morning sentences, forgets 1, checks it, and repeats it again. She writes 4 lines about her day and corrects 1 sentence. My friend suggested to visit the market becomes My friend suggested visiting the market. Then she chooses tomorrow's goal, practicing how to give a polite reason when she can't accept an invitation. That's one complete day focused, realistic, and easy to adjust. You don't need Maya's topic. You can use a conversation related to work, travel, shopping, family, health, or daily routines. The structure remains the same. Meet useful English in the morning, actively use it later, and strengthen it in the evening. Now perhaps you're thinking this sounds useful, but you're too busy. Then begin with smaller sessions. 5 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes later, and 5 minutes at night are better than waiting for an ideal day that never arrives. When your routine becomes easier, build toward the complete method. If you can't practice at lunchtime, move the 30-minute session to another part of the day. The middle means the active center of your routine, not an exact hour on the clock. Perhaps you miss one session. Don't turn one missed session into a reason to abandon the week. Continue with the next available step. Consistency doesn't mean performing perfectly every day. It means returning without creating a long argument with yourself. Perhaps you have nobody to practice with. You can still describe, answer questions, retell audio, role-play situations, and record your voice. A speaking partner can offer valuable interaction, but being alone doesn't require you to remain silent. Perhaps you don't know what to discuss. Create a small topic list before the week begins, such as your morning, a useful app, a recent problem, your favorite meal, a person you admire, a place you want to visit, and one change you want to make. One topic for each day. Perhaps your pronunciation sounds strange to you. Your voice doesn't need to sound identical to someone else's voice. Focus on being understandable, working on one sound, one word ending, or one rhythm pattern at a time. Record, compare, adjust, and continue. Perhaps you keep forgetting vocabulary. Use fewer words more deeply. 5 useful expressions spoken in 15 original sentences will usually serve you better than 50 words you only read once. Perhaps you fear that someone will laugh. Practice first in a private space. Build evidence that you can express real ideas. Then take small social risks. Ask one question. Leave one voice message. Or speak for 30 seconds with someone you trust. Courage doesn't always arrive as a powerful feeling. Sometimes it's simply the decision to say one sentence before fear changes your mind. Perhaps natural speech feels too fast. Use shorter audio. Listen for meaning first, then notice groups of words rather than trying to catch every separate sound. Slow the audio temporarily if needed, but return to the normal version so your ears can gradually adjust. Perhaps motivation disappears after several days. Then stop depending on motivation. Prepare your audio, topic, and notebook in advance, and attach the sessions to things you already do, such as after breakfast, during a regular break, and before your evening routine. Make starting easy. What might you notice if you follow this method consistently? After 7 days, you may feel more aware of your voice. Certain expressions may return more quickly. Recording yourself may feel slightly less uncomfortable. You may notice pronunciation details that you previously missed. After 30 days, familiar topics may require less preparation. Your active vocabulary may become easier to access. You may answer simple questions with fewer pauses because you've practiced retrieving language, not only recognizing it. After 90 days, your routine may feel more natural. You may understand more connected speech, organize answers more quickly, and recover from mistakes without immediately becoming silent. These are possibilities, not promises. Your progress will depend on your starting level, practice quality, feedback, and consistency. Some abilities will improve faster than others, and that's normal. The deepest change may not be a new accent or an impressive vocabulary. It may be the way you describe yourself. Instead of saying, "I am terrible at English," you begin saying, "I use English every day." Instead of asking why you're not fluent yet, you ask what you can practice more clearly today. That shift is quiet, but important. You're no longer waiting to become an English speaker at some distant point in the future. You're already speaking, listening, correcting, and learning. You're participating in the language now. So begin with the next 15 minutes available to you. Choose one short audio. Take 3 useful sentences from it. Listen carefully and let your own voice join the practice. Later, protect 30 minutes for active speaking. Record an honest answer. Listen with curiosity instead of shame. Improve one thing and try again. Tonight, return for the final 15. Recall what mattered. Repair one repeated mistake. Say a few sentences about your day and choose tomorrow's goal. Then follow this routine for 7 days and keep that commitment as a promise to yourself, not as pressure to become perfect.